trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
Welcome everyone to Slinger Speedway, as this is the penultimate race of the debut season of the NNSCRA SRX Series. Here this evening, we are getting ready to pretty much set the stage for our championship race next week at Nashville, and it's one of the shortest tracks on the season. These drivers are going to have to take to high banking, and this should be a lot of fun. This is one of the tracks that, when I was testing out tracks for the schedule, that I was looking the most forward to coming to, because there's going to be a lot of passes here tonight, and this should be a very exciting race, a perfect area to be able to set up that championship battle next week. It's going to be 80 laps of racing here tonight, 40 laps for the first stage. We'll have a break in between, and then drivers will get ready for the second stage. Field gets inverted from the finishing of the first stage to the starting grid of the second stage, and it really has been all about winning here this season, whether it be winning a stage or winning a race. Amazingly enough, though, 3/4 of the way into this season, and we have the entire field, first down through ninth, separated by only 44 points. Mathematically, every driver still has a shot at this championship. That is pretty cool. We've ended up seeing 5 different drivers go to victory lane in the first 6 races of the year, the only multi-time winner being Jesse Turner. Seth Cole taking a checkered flag just last week out South Boston. Could we end up seeing one of the drivers that hasn't taken a checkered flag yet this season be able to do it here tonight? Amongst those would include the 2 drivers coming into tonight's event that are up at the top of the point standings, and for the last couple of weeks have been back and forth as far as who's the points leader and who isn't. Carson Gum comes into this race as the current points leader, 3 points in hand over Michael Norman. And as mentioned, the other 7 drivers behind them, 44 points or less back from the points lead. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's race here, as on pole is going to be Dylan Young, our winner from Eldora Speedway, so he's looking for win number 2. Dylan Young comes into this race third in the point standings. He is only 26 points out of the points lead. Carson Gum, the points leader, will line up alongside of him, but as mentioned, Carson Gum is still looking for his first overall checkered flag of the season. Austin LaPlante, our winner from Knoxville, he'll roll off from the 3rd spot. LaPlante comes into this race 4th in the standings, 27 points out of the points lead, and then Michael Norman, who led the points for a good half of the season, now finds himself 2nd in the standings, 3 points back as mentioned. He's still looking for his first checkered flag on the year as well. Last week's winner, Seth Cole, rolls off from the 5th position. Seth Cole is 6th in the standings, a total of 21 points back from the points lead. And Keith Batson won the season opener at 5 flags. He'll roll up on the outside of row number 3. Keith Batson coming into this race 5th in the point standings. He's actually tied for 4th with Austin LaPlante, so also 27 points back from the top position. Benjamin Miles rolls off on the inside of row number 4. Benjamin Miles, another driver looking for his first checkered flag. He is last in the point standings, 9th in points, but only 44 points back. A stage victory here tonight, maybe even follow it up with a race victory tonight. He's right back into the thick of things. He'll be alongside of Levi McIntyre. McIntyre currently sits 17th, or make that 7th in the point standings. It'd be pretty interesting to be 17th out of 9 drivers, but 7th in the point standings. He has a total of 36 points out of the points lead. And then bringing up the rear of the field here tonight, our only multi-time winner on the season with checkered flags at Stafford and Lucas Oil. That's Jesse Turner. Turner comes into this race 8th in the point standings. He is a total of 43 points out of the points lead. Well, it's time to go down trackside and get those most famous words in motorsports and get ready to go racing here tonight in Stage 1 at Slinger Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
Command is given. Going to take no time at all for these drivers to migrate their way around this very tiny short track. And buckle up tight, folks, because this is going to be a fun one. Dylan Young brings them down the back straightaway. They'll head for 3 and 4, and for that restart zone. Green flags in the air. Let's roll at Slinger. Carson Gum got a nice jump there, but the shorter way around the racetrack's going to be the way to go. Dylan Young goes to the point. LaPlante going to challenge for the top spot as Dylan Young will lead the first lap, but only by a bit. LaPlante now out in front. These laps are going to tick away quickly, too. It only takes them about 10, 11 seconds to be able to complete a circuit here at Slinger as Carson Gum moves into second place. Benjamin Miles will slot to third. Dylan Young all of a sudden fading back outside of the podium to fourth and under fire from Jesse Turner, who remember started shotgun in the field. He's already up to fifth, now battling for fourth. Carson Gum's going to move to the race lead as LaPlante slips up. That opens the door for Benjamin Miles to look for second. Top three drivers at the end of this first 40 laps will get bonus points, stage points. Winner gets 20, second gets 15, third place gets 10. So here's the battle for third place between Turner in the orange car, LaPlante in the green mobile. Turner's going to get a nice run there out of 4 on the inside line, and he's going to take the spot. Benjamin Miles wants the race lead from Carson Gum. Great run out of turn 4, and he will get to the inside of the purple car of Carson Gum. It's going to be Benjamin Miles into turn number 2. Make that turn number 3, rather. That's now going to take a turn out in front. Turner right now in command of third place as crossover for the lead. That was close. Miles getting a little loose off of 2. Almost got into Carson Gum. Gum takes the spot back. Turner now going to try and take advantage to move to second. Miles falls back to third, and now Keith Batson, Levi McIntyre in fourth and fifth. They'll look to close up on the white Benjamin Miles car. Seth Cole now going to try and go for fifth place on Levi McIntyre. The only positions that count here in the first stage really are the top 3 as far as points payout. The rest of the field kind of determine who's going to start at the front, who's going to start mid-pack for the final 40 laps of this race and the overall win on the line. Seth Cole got around Levi McIntyre. That was for fifth. Now sets his sights on Keith Batson for fourth. Miles going to work on Jesse Turner for second place as Carson Gum continues to show the way. Talked about the fact that everybody coming into tonight's race still mathematically has a shot to be able to still battle for the championship next week. Carson Gum would like to make that a non-factor. He'd like to see if he could wrap up the championship here and now tonight. And if he were able to pick up the stage victory, there's no telling whether or not that might be the case. We may go into Nashville with the championship already decided and just basically it coming down to who's going to get the final checkered flag on the year. Turner not content to ride behind Benjamin Miles. He wants those extra 5 bonus points for moving up a spot to second place, and he will do so. Miles falls back to third, and the driver he has to worry about now is Seth Cole in that yellow machine. Michael Norman going to work on Keith Batson. Norman started fourth, faded all the way to the rear of the field, now up into the top 5, halfway through this first stage. Look at this wad of race cars. Dylan Young trying to the inside of Keith Batson, Austin LaPlante looking on. And just behind them is Levi McIntyre, so a 4-way battle for 6th back through 9th. Right now, Dylan Young in command of that 6th position. Norman continuing to march forward. He'll try the inside of Seth Cole, and he will complete that pass. So move Michael Norman now up to 4th. Carson Gum continuing to lead the way and has opened up some distance back to Jesse Turner. It's right on board with Jesse Turner as he makes his way around this racetrack in pursuit of Carson Gum. Not exactly sure what the term slinger in Slinger Speedway means, but the way that they're slinging these cars out of the corner certainly would make sense. Last time by, Jesse Turner was faster than Carson Gum. And it looks like Carson's slipping up a little bit there on the exit of the corner. Turner is slowly reeling him in. That last time by, a tick quicker once again. Had to bail out of the throttle out of turn 2. Look how quickly they turn laps here at Slinger. About 10.5 seconds to 11 seconds, depending on how well you make the circuit. And Turner now starting to feel a little loose out of the center of the corner. He's actually lost some ground to Carson Gum. And he is about to get reeled in by Dylan Young, who's now moved by Benjamin Miles for the third position. Wasn't Dylan Young the guy we were just looking at a few laps ago that was back in, what was it, 6th place, up 3 spots now? That 10 car, that bright neon green machine, is on the move. Michael Norman right there as well. And so this would mean that if Dylan Young, Michael Norman can get around Jesse Turner, your top 3 in points are all going to get stage points here. But Turner's going to try and hold him off as best he can. I don't know if Dylan Young's going to have enough time to get up there to Carson Gum, but he can at least make sure that Carson only gains 5 points on him if he takes the 2nd spot, which he will indeed do. Turner now drops back to 3rd, and Michael Norman, now the pressure's on him. He's got to get up there and get around that bright orange machine. LaPlante getting around Benjamin Miles. As things stand right now, Levi McIntyre quite a ways back in that 9th position, running about 0.7 of a second behind the next car ahead of him, Keith Batson. So right now, McIntyre and Batson would be in line to be the front row for the upcoming second half of this race. Battle for the final spot to get stage points, Norman and Turner. Turner the 2-time winner, Michael Norman the 2-time stage winner. And Norman's got the 3rd spot, at least for the moment, as it's going to be 2 laps to go this next time by. Let's follow the battle for 2nd between Young and Norman, because this could be very important for Dylan Young to keep Norman in his rearview mirror. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. Norman's going to get around for 2nd. The white flag was displayed for Carson Gum. And Carson Gum, Michael Norman, and Dylan Young going to continue this rivalry even into the second half of this race. Top 3 in points, finished top 3 in the first half, and will get stage points as a result. Carson Gum with 20, Norman with 15, and Dylan Young with 10. Man. Talk about the cream rising to the top. These 3 realizing what those stage points mean. 4th place was Turner. 5th place was LaPlante, but you don't get points payouts from 4th place on back. And Levi McIntyre bypassed Keith Batson in the closing stages. So Batson, who will finish last in stage 1, will be the pole sitter for stage 2. And Levi McIntyre instead will be on the outside of the front rows. So Carson Gum, Michael Norman, and Dylan Young, they get your stage points here in the first half of the race at Slinger. Still plenty of racing still to come. We'll invert the field, get them ready for the final 40 laps right after this commercial break. We welcome you back here to Slinger Speedway, the 7th and next to last race of the debut season of the NNSCRA SRX Series. Getting ready for our final 40 laps of the night. Keith Batson, Levi McIntyre through the restart zone. Get us underway. Top 3 in the point standings coming into tonight. All got stage points, finishing in the podium of the first stage. Did a little bit of rough math here as we watched the battle for the lead between Batson, Cole, and LaPlante down the back straightaway. Carson Gum with that stage victory, obviously still the points leader. He'll now have 8 points in hand over Michael Norman and 36 points over Dylan Young. That's how things stand right now, and we still got another 40 laps left to run, so lot can still change. Seth Cole looking for back-to-back victories. So far, Jesse Turner is the only driver this season with multiple trips to victory lane, but Seth Cole could make history as the first driver to have 2 wins in a row, as I thought we were going to have a wreck. Keith Batson nearly binned it into the wall off of 2. Nice save on his part, and maybe need a change of shorts for Benjamin Miles, because if Batson was going around, Miles was probably going to go with him. And look at how quickly Carson Gum, who after getting that stage victory starting shotgun on the field, has worked his way up into the top 3. He's now up to 2nd place and trying to close in on Seth Cole for the race lead. If Carson can sweep tonight with the stage victory and the victory here in the overall race, it might pretty much ice it from 3rd place on back's chances of winning this championship. The only driver that then might have a mathematical shot still heading into next week could very well be Michael Norman. Now right now, Norman's running back in the 8th spot, but still a ways to go in this one. Miles starting to fall back now. Turner, who finished 4th back in stage 1, just missing out on some stage points. He's going to move into 5th place around Benjamin Miles. LaPlante right now, the bright green machine, in 4th. Now he's under fire as Jesse Turner slings it in there. Yeah, the pun works here. The name certainly works. A lot of slinging going on right now as Carson Gum trying to pull away from Seth Cole. Seth Cole finished 7th back in stage 1. And it just doesn't look like that car's got the speed to keep up with the purple car of Carson Gum. Keith Batson, though, that car all of a sudden, whatever adjustments they made on that red car, they have certainly gone in the right direction. Saw him completely out of shape in the opening laps of this 2nd stage, but maybe that was one of those cases of loose is fast on the edge of out of control, because he's gotten around Seth Cole for 2nd place and now going to try and set his sights on Carson Gum. Seth Cole's still right there, though. He's brought Jesse Turner, so possible 3-man fight for 2nd place. Turner going to go for 3rd place and take it from Seth Cole. Well, Jesse Turner may not be able to be in the hunt for the championship next week. 8th in the point standings coming into this one, and no stage points when the top 3 did get stage points moments ago, but he could certainly continue to make history here in the SRX series by adding a 3rd victory to his resume. And we'll keep an eye on lap times here, see if he is closing in. Yeah, that last time by, 2/10 quicker. He ran a 10-1 to Carson Gum's 10-3. Keep an eye on the top left of your screen at that interval. We'll see if it continues to chip away. That time by, they ran almost identical lap times and a little bit of time lost for Jesse Turner. Levi McIntyre fires it in there on Seth Cole. He'll move to the 5th position now. Cole back to 6th as now McIntyre sets his sights on Benjamin Miles for 4th. Michael Norman, this is definitely not what he needs right now. Laps are running out, time is running out. Right now in the 8th position. I could do some more quick math here. It was 8 points starting the 2nd stage that Norman was behind Carson Gum for the points lead. If Carson wins and Norman finishes 8th, that's 14 points right there that Norman loses, and so it'd be 22-point separation between Gum and Norman for the championship next week. So Michael Norman's got to pick up some spots here, and he's got to pick them up in a hurry. Seth Cole getting around Benjamin Miles, so move him up to 5th place. They're trying to get 4th place back from Levi McIntyre. And that's the closest battle on the track right now. 3rd, 4th, 5th, Batson, McIntyre, and Cole, as Carson Gum's got almost a 2.5 back to Jesse Turner, who in tow has about 0.7 of a second back to Keith Batson. Carson Gum is gone. And remember, Carson had to start the 2nd half of this race at the tail end of the field. So I'll bet you they probably didn't make any changes to that car between the 1st and 2nd stage. That car is bad fast. And Carson Gum, Michael Norman, those two have been pretty much mixing it up for the points lead all season long. It's been more of a game of catch-up for Carson Gum to Michael Norman, who had those early stage victories, opened up a pretty good points gap. But neither one of those drivers coming tonight has taken a checkered flag in an overall race. Carson Gum This next time by is going to be 7 laps away from doing just that. And again, it won't be absolutely official that Carson Gum has won the championship, but as things stand right now, it is looking like Carson Gum is going to make it a mono v mono for the title next week between himself and Michael Norman. Dylan Young, Austin LaPlante, Keith Batson, drivers that had a shot here tonight if they could get themselves stage victory or even a race victory. This was kind of their final gasp attempt to be able to do so, and nobody was able to rise to the occasion. Dylan Young, yes, he did get some stage points, but right now he is dead last in the running order. So he'd be in line for only 10 points as far as the finishing result points go. So that takes him out of the picture. Next time by, it'll be the white flag for Carson Gum. What a night here for him. And he's about to do something that no driver has done all season long. Carson Gum is going to be a stage winner and a race winner all in the same night. He sweeps at Slinger Speedway. And just like that, what was looking like could very well be a 5-6 driver battle for the championship has now turned into 2 with a 22-point gap. Wow. Let's take a look at the finishing results from this one here tonight. Dylan Young got those stage points, but man, that dead last finish is going to take him out of the running. Michael Norman, he needed to get up there at least in the same vicinity as Carson Gum. He lost 5 points to Carson in the first stage, and he's going to lose more points here in the second stage, as mentioned. He's going to have a lot of work to do next week. He needs Carson Gum to really struggle, and he needs to almost pull off a Nashville sweep with the stage and the race win. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case, but it's 22 points. That's a bit of a long shot here still for Michael Norman, but stranger things have happened. Jesse Turner, great run for him there in second place. After he got up there, he just couldn't catch up to Carson Gum, but still a solid outing for the multi-time winner. Keith Batson's going to bring it home in third. Seth Cole follows up his win last week with fourth, and Levi McIntyre is going to finish in fifth. Austin LaPlante in 6th, Benjamin Miles 7th, Michael Norman and Dylan Young complete the rest of the field. Things are really close from 3rd on down through 6th in points coming to this race. Actually, they're even closer from 3rd down through 7th, only 10-point separation between those drivers. So Dylan Young, Austin LaPlante, Keith Batson, Seth Cole, Levi McIntyre. More than likely, there's going to be a lot of swapping around of positions in the point standings there after tonight's race heading into next week. But let's take a look at the now official point standings heading into next week. The results are in, and there you see it. 22 points from Carson Gum back to Michael Norman. Dylan Young, Austin LaPlante, Keith Batson, Seth Cole, Levi McIntyre, those drivers, they're just too far back. There's really no chance for them to be able to make up enough points next week to be able to battle for the championship. So who you got your money on, Carson Gum or Michael Norman? It's going to be interesting to see what happens when we get to our season finale next week at Nashville Speedway. Thank you all for tuning into tonight's event. Hope you guys enjoyed it at Slinger Speedway. If you did, be sure to give me a like, subscribe, be part of the crew today. Helps me out a lot. And we will see you guys next time at the season finale in Nashville. Also, be sure to head on over to the NNSCRA Back to Bristol 2022 GoFundMe fundraiser. Donate what you can and be automatically locked into the second official season of the NNSCRA SRX series, which will be happening, of course, after this season comes to a close. And that is drawing very near, as next week it is the season finale, and we will crown ourselves an inaugural champion of the NNSCRA SRX series. But until then, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.